There we go. And we are live. Sierra, what's up, dude?
Hey George,
Hey,
nothing wrong
long
with this.
time no see. How you been holding through the quarantine days? I know you've been wrapping your head around certain situations with work
Yeah,
and shit.
I'm all right. I'm as good as I can be. I can't complain.
Good.
Still unemployed. Still just I don't know. Like every day is it feels like Groundhog Day sometimes. Like when
Yeah,
I go to sleep
seriously.
at night, I'm like, oh God, I gotta wake up and do all this again. I have no idea what I'm doing. So, just trying to keep myself busy as much as possible.
I finally set
But
aside like my morning pajama or my night pajamas and then my afternoon pajamas. So like they're like slightly different, you know
yeah,
what I mean? But it's nothing out of the ordinary, but I'm just trying to at least be somewhat um dressed well for the day when I'm not seeing
right.
anybody anyways. I don't give a shit. Like
Yeah, like right now I have like a regular like t-shirt on, like something I wear to like a show,
hmm
and I have like pajama shorts on. So
Yeah, literally saying like if anybody saw the bottom half of my body, it's like flip flops and fucking like basketball shorts like all the time. Like I could even like fool being like an analyst on like ESPN, like wear the blazer and shit, and then just wear nothing
yeah, that's
else
what I would
underneath.
do if I was one of those types. Shit.
Yeah, I know. That's what we're all basically doing right now. I mean, there's really
Yeah.
nothing else to do. So, have you guys been writing with Sales Ahead? Like, what have you guys? I know you guys been streaming. You're streaming on Twitch, which is cool as fuck. Sierraplusultra. Um,
Thank you.
you're like huge in Animal Crossing, but we'll all get into that. But how have you and the guys from Sales been doing with this? Are you guys writing? Or are you guys contemplating on maybe setting up for studio time? Like, what do you guys been up to?
I actually am supposed to go back to the studio to fix stuff on our two singles. We're supposed to drop whenever they're done. I don't know when. I have to go back and fix vocals eventually. But aside from that, we are writing. We have we're always just writing,
hmm
but we have a lot of ideas right now, so it's just a matter of completing them. And we counted like earlier this week. We have like 21 songs that are like not either like not completed or are just like a part of a song, and we just have to finish it out. Or they could just be like the bare bones of like a song. I've been doing a lot of those, just like laying down like the rhythm chords for stuff and like some lead ideas.
hmm
We want our plans keep like changing around. Like what we are doing for sure is like dropping two singles this year.
Okay.
When I don't know.
Okay.
Long term, we're basically working towards a full length. So whether we will release that on our own or whether we'll shop it, no idea. Because
Right.
there's just so many financial like logistics that come with a full length. I mean, like it's just like because you want it to sound the best it can be,
For sure.
but you
Absolutely.
also don't want to go into poverty and then have it flop. So a lot of just planning and writing, definitely writing.
Yeah, I know
But
what that's like. Yeah, for sure.
yeah, I'm hoping. I mean, like, I'll propose it to the guys, but like, I'm thinking like it might be nice to drop like a polished demo to
hmm
like, if not to everyone, maybe to like our Bandcamp emailing list or like just like our close friends. I don't know.
hmm
It's killing me. Like, we haven't released anything since 2018.
hmm
So, but we're still dead set on like just taking our time with everything and like making sure we do it right and making sure we're happy with like everything, all the material we have.
Are you involving yourself aside from the lyrics, like with structure and with certain ways of going about the music in itself, instrumentally?
Yeah, absolutely. What will happen is if I have the concept of a song like mostly outlined in my head, I'll open up a Guitar Pro file and I'll just write as much of the song as I can, like the whole song. And I'll lay down all the rhythm chords. I can't play a lot of the leads that I write, but I write leads. I
Okay.
do.
Do you stab
And
it or something? Like you know what I
yeah,
mean?
I just get
Yeah, let's
the
go.
idea of okay, that was faster. So, and then I fuck around with like the tempo and the note values to make it match like the flow, like the general idea of what I want.
hmm
And then what happens is like I'll give it over to Joe and my bandmates and be like, okay, so this is a song I wrote like like this percent or this part, like maybe kind of leave the same feel, but like this part, do whatever you want with it. Or like, I'll be like, I'm having trouble with this part. I want it to sound like this, but maybe there's a more efficient way of doing this. And that's when like Joe will come in, Santino. Ryan will give his inputs on like the drums and stuff. It used to be like all me, like, but that was when I had like nobody.
Right, for
sure. So it's so much nicer to just have people to bounce ideas off of.
Yeah.
Now it's been that way for a long time. Now at this point, which is nice.
Yeah.
So
I don't know what that's like considering. I mean, I'm a drummer, so I mean, I don't really write lyrically or instrumentally. I usually just play to what's given to me and try to like manipulate in any certain way. Like if Anthony sends over some kind of demo, I'm just gonna put it into Studio One, try to get some kind of basis out of it, even though he already has something ready to go. But he wants me to kind of implement my ideas, which doesn't really change much. I mean, the dude can really write pretty choruses. But I mean, it doesn't take a long process for you guys to kind of get into a rhythm of writing music. Like it's like you have a step-by-step process. Like it starts off with, somebody has the core idea, gets sent out, and then guitarists put their input in. Then Ryan comes in and play like that. Is that like how you guys kind of go about it, and such?
Yeah. We work very slowly, but we have a system. We really do. Like it starts with one member, and then we made it so that everyone owns Guitar Pro pretty much now. I forget if Ryan does, but I think he's familiar with how to have drums. So it's just like it starts with one person, and then like we'll send it out. Usually the guitars will get finished first, and then we bring it all together and like add drums and bass. Either at practice or we finished one or two songs remotely before, whether that was in the before times or the during times of the pandemic.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. Right.
Are you guys going back to the Backroom Studios?
Yeah.
For it?
100%.
What made you decide to go there? Because it's a very progressive metal-based discography that they have. So I mean, you guys are a little softer / you have a pretty but you have that progressive sound to you, like the post-hardcore progressive sound, which is cool. So
well, we've always gone to engineers who are really good at getting like really good sounds at the source, but like we felt that Kevin would just be like top notch for all of that.
And you guys had Kevin from Dillinger do Morning Sun EP.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's great. So we went to him for Morning Sun. We went back to him for our singles, and I will go back to him and finish everything. Mm-hmm. The album, we're not sure. Because like I said, it's like a huge, like, financial, like, project to take on. And, like, or even if we do an EP before we drop the full length, like, we're trying to figure out how we can mitigate, like manage projects so that, like, we can pump out more stuff sooner. Maybe record more stuff on our own and then, like, maybe do drums with him or, figure out those things. But honestly, like, I mean, out of all the people that we've worked with, like, he's just great. Even though, like, he hasn't mixed our stuff, so we send it out. But, like, everything he's done, like, when we get bounces back, it already sounds like the real thing.
Yeah, seriously.
It's just a matter of fine-tuning. He's that good, man. He's great.
Does he involve himself as another member with producing?
So, just for, like, efficiency purposes of, like, just getting the best take out of us, we'll tweak certain, like, parts, like guitars he doesn't touch a lot, vocals he'll work with me on. Mm-hmm. But, he doesn't try to, like, take full control or anything or, like, try to completely transform songs. And working with him, like, he just gets us. He really gets what we're doing and enjoys it. So it never feels like a weird collaborative environment with him. It's always super natural.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's hard to find your producer as a band. I mean, we had our guy Bruce, and he moved to California, and now he's a pretty well-rounded pop artist, which is great. I'm so happy for him. But it took us a while to find our guy, which is now Bobby Torres of Frightbox Recordings. So it's working. You know what I mean? Like, I'm glad you guys have that, and especially that you're going to go back to him. I mean, that will make the process even easier when it comes to crunch time of actually recording the song, so you don't have to, reintroduce yourself to a new studio / producer, engineer, whoever you may be working with. So that's pretty cool.
And there's really no one else in Jersey that kind of gets what we're doing. Like, there's a lot of studios that are, like, super talented, and, like, their thing is, like, emo bands, but that's not us. So,
no, I mean, you can identify every pop punk band as an emo band, really. I mean, it's just what the generation we grew up in. I think that's the only way you can identify it. Like, I guess you can call Poeta emo if you deep dive into Kevin's lyrics, which can be dark and depressing, but hey, you know, like, he brings
you guys are proggy guys to me too. Y'all got that blend.
Yeah, that little mixed blend.
Yeah.
Or whatever it may be. I don't know. But yeah, it's just one of those things that I look forward to hearing from, because I love the EP, and then we played with you guys at launch for 2000. It was the 10-year anniversary. So yeah, that was
what a time.
That was a good year. 2017 was a good year. And then slowly after that, things have been, you know, changing in the industry due to streaming, and it's hard to get on. You guys have done a couple weekenders I believe, before, right?
Yeah, we've done. So we've done 3 regional tours now, and like several weekenders. Nothing beyond like a week and a half, though. Mm-hmm. We haven't done like anything 3 weeks or more yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, neither have we. I mean, it's just because you have, like, we try getting on certain tours with certain bands, but these booking agents look for your Spotify numbers, which at the time we didn't really have because the album was so new and we were underground. But I mean, that's just going to change in general. But I mean, even we had that local show coming up too that you were putting together, and that was it was getting pretty big. I was stoked. The community was really coming together for one of like the greater clubhouse shows that Jimmy throws together. Yeah.
Oh my god, I know. I was excited for that. I was gonna go for the Animal Crossing show. I was gonna go fucking buck wild, and I was gonna decorate the place and get snacks. Like, what is this? A school dance? Absolutely. But I don't. Obviously, you know.
Well, yeah, the pandemic happened, but I want to correlate that because I don't know if it's you or the band itself, but there's a good marketing mind behind what you guys do. You guys aesthetically please the visuals as well as your album artwork and such, which is not something that people don't really take into consideration. People just like to, you know, throw things out there and then it just, you know, hopefully it works. But you guys, you know, how do you get your marketing ideas from? Like, would you grab inspiration from things of your interest, like anime or, you know, like?
Yeah. So, I mean, I've always been into like hand-drawn artwork. I mean, like growing up, like anime and like Studio Ghibli movies were like a really big part of my upbringing. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, in past bands, I never incorporated that, like, that visual, like, feel for other bands, because, like, the first band I was in was, like, a Jack's Mannequin ripoff, and then the second band I was in, like, a metalcore wannabe without screaming. So, and while I was, like, a part of those bands, it, like, didn't, like, feel like I could, like, project that personality, the type of personality onto those projects, because, like, I don't know, I can't really explain it, but this band, like, it just started out as just me, so, like, I kind of had this vision for it, so, like, I've tried to tie everything as naturally as possible. The Morning Sun artwork is actually, it's based off of a song in it's the last track, Beasley. Beasley is half based off, like, a dream I had and just, like, real life. And then, like, and in the dream, like, the cover art is like, kind of like what I saw, but there wasn't mountains. It was like those two people looking at a sunset, but it wasn't mountains. I just, I wanted to tie that in because I thought that would just be like the vibrant artwork, like, I felt like that would have been just more on par with, like, the sound of the album and how bright it was. So, I try not to, like, really hand-fist it, because, like, I know it can be, like, annoying to beat people over the head with, like anime and, like, video game shit, but, like, it really is who we are, and, like, I want people to feel like they can talk to us to things besides music, So that's why it's so part of like, you know, our voice on social media, like our content. That's kind of like the way I've gone about things, because it's, you know, I don't want to beat people over the head with our music. Like, I want there to be like things for people to unite around besides us.
Yeah, have that connection in general. Yeah,
exactly. So,
with similar
but I mean, yeah, but like I always, as a kid, I always wanted to be an artist too. Well, when I was really young, I was like a little kid, and like my first dream job was an animator. When I grew older, like I grew more, gravitated more towards music, and kind of like I stopped being into anime for a few years because I thought all my friends would think I was weird. So
that's fucked
that was
up.
when anime wasn't cool. It is fucked up. They never.
No, it is fucked up. But you know what's even more fucked up? I don't mean to cut you off, but it's like, so Dragon Ball Z, like their merchandise is being sold in Zoomies now. Like when I used to wear their merch back in like middle school, high school, I used to get so much shit for it. Like, you're never getting a girl. You're weird. You like, you know, you love that like anime cartoon crap. And then even when we're like literally young, I'm still in like Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon at the time, and they would come by and they go, "Come and help!" Well, you guys are so funny.
Oh my god!
Now anime is cool.
I know, so, it makes me mad, but I'm like, you know what? The more the merrier.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Digimon is my favorite. Like, that was like the anime I grew up with, and like Pokemon too. But like something about Digimon, like the characters were just more interesting and more developed as people, so I gravitated to them more. And like I got made fun of hardcore in middle school, so I stopped. Like I stopped drawing comics and shit, and my OC at school. And,
that's a shame.
And like I thought, like in like the last like 5 or so years, like I always wanted to have like a project that kind of had like not like its own universe. I mean, that's a little too like, but like I always wanted to have like a project that had its own like look and like more things that you could dive into just besides the music. So and like visually like captivating things that you could recognize us for. You know, if you just saw the picture, like even if you didn't hear the music, like things that would draw you in and would still connect with like our tracks and whatnot. So I always thought that would be fun to have like music and the art go together. It's probably the direction that we're headed in, but like it's definitely like, you know, it's challenging to like have to like coordinate all that. But so you just take your time and like, you know, you just try to get it right and do all that stuff.
Maybe as a teaser, I don't know, this just popped in my head. I always had these weird ideas, but maybe you should put Morning Sun EP into a digital 8-bit track, like, you know what I mean?
Oh my god, we've been talking about that.
No, really? Oh, I think that'd be so rad because like it's so progressive. Neither do I.
Yeah, me too. But
if I told you how, I would be like, dude, I'll just send me over the files. I'll be able to do it, but I don't know how either.
I don't know either. We've been talking about trying to find someone to do it. It's just like we have so many good ideas, and like we just throw them out at each other in the group chat, and then like we just forget to write them down, or we forget to like follow through because we're like, we should be writing music. We should finish songs. It's hard. We get excited. I get excited.
It is hard, but like now you're implementing even your core passions with video gaming or anime itself into this Twitch streaming now, which is cool. And I mean, it seems very natural with what you're doing. I mean that looks enjoyable. I personally can't. I like Animal Crossing. I used to have it on the phone, the app on my phone, but
the Poppy Camp.
Yeah, I was pretty addicted to that. Yeah. But how's that been an experience like? Because it seems like it's been picking up pretty quick, which I'm stoked for you.
Yeah.
And that's just you being casual, like just.
I know. What the hell is happening? I don't know if I can cuss, but I just did.
You can cuss. There's a lot of explicit episodes on the internet, so
great.
It's cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
say them all. Well, not all, but like say some if you want. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not all. I know. I just thought it would be fun. I just thought it'd be fun to like stream Animal Crossing. I got pretty late in the game by the time I got my capture card. Like in terms of like the game's life cycle and like when people were like hitting the ground running with content. Mm-hmm. So I just like, it's weird how people. It feels like having a one-sided conversation, dude. It's fucking weird some nights. Like I'm like, I can't believe people are like actually into this, but like. It's fun. Animal Crossing is very pure. The Animal Crossing community is very nice. Mm-hmm. And It's cool. I have a kid who watches my stream almost every time from fucking Denmark, and he's like, "Hey, it's me. I gotta go in like 30 minutes because it's 2:30 a.m. here, but just wanted to say hi." I'm like, "Jeez."
That's so cool. Yeah.
And like, yeah, just random people finding it, and then like people see the guitars in the background, and they're like, "Are you in a band?" And I'm like, "Well, yes, and then segue.
Yeah, you can check out our EP, Morning Sun EP, put in the information.
Yeah,
Fuck yeah.
honestly been lucky enough to have those people who ask, "Be receptive," and they go check it out. So, I mean, it wasn't why I started doing streaming. It's cool if people like end up finding my music and like it. And streaming is definitely will always be secondary to music. Like, if it's a question of like whether I need to prioritize the band or streaming, like it's definitely the fucking band. But but streaming has been like really fun. I'll probably still do it even after the pandemic is over, and even if everyone goes back to normal. Yeah, Animal Crossing community is cool. I have a lot of cool friends on Twitch, like who helped me like get set up. The Smash community, I play Smash on Saturdays just to practice for fun, and like sometimes we get really mean 14-year-olds.
Yeah, because they talk shit like, I can beat you up, my dad works for Nintendo, blah blah blah. Like,
my uncle works for Nintendo. Like, okay, like it's like cool. I'm glad you're good, but what does that do for us? Like, I don't know. It's like, be cool, you're good, but like with a little humility kill you.
Yeah, seriously. Let's all be friends here. Can we not be? And you're 14, dude. Like, you got a lot of learning to do. If this is what you think is, your prime. This is your prime. You need to wake up, bud.
Yeah, but
no way. I miss those games. Oh, dude, I used to be so good at the N64 Smash, and I wanted to go to tournaments, but I just never really I was never able to find myself around them. And then I think the last time I really got into Smash, it was like I think the first Wii version of it, and it was just so hard to pick back up, and I would get whooped all the time when I would play.
No, it's a hard game. I would watch my sibling and their friends play when we were growing. I would only watch them play because I was like, I can never play that. And it wasn't until they announced Ultimate and that Isabelle was gonna be a fighter that I was like, all right, I'm just gonna give it a try. And
seriously.
Slightly better than I used to. I can hold my own. I'm not just button mashing now. And I've won a few matches, but I still lost 1,000. So it's an uphill battle, but I know I'm trash. So I'm complacent with it, and I'm just coasting. I'm just, whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, it's fun. But you're good at Animal Crossing and other things too. So like, you're in a successful band. So I mean, that, plays a huge part. But it's like me picking up, I wanted to play some of the newer Pokemon, and I remember the last time I bought a newer Pokemon game was either Diamond or Pearl, and I bought a DS just to get the game. I was like, I really want to keep playing this. And then it's been a while. I just haven't gone into the newer generations. They seem to be really confusing. I don't know. Maybe my brain can't wrap around all of them.
Yeah, they add a new battle mechanic every single game. So you had Mega Evolution, then you had Z moves and Sun and Moon, and now there's there's so much, and now there's Dynamaxing. So
the Mega Evolution's badass.
I love the Mega Evolutions.
That's cool. But when they try to promote that evolution where Pikachu just becomes like a skyscraper Pikachu, I thought that was like the corniest thing in the world. I was like, oh no, they're running out of ideas.
I know. But it's like once you start playing the game, it's kind of funny. It's like, all right, this is cool.
Oh my god, I wish I was there. I still have my yellow. In my my SP. My cousin dared me to, he said, listen, I have red, I'm going to train, you have yellow. And I used to work night shift as security back in the day. So I would just, walk around the building and make sure everything's cool and then just hang out for the rest of the night. But I stacked up on my Pokemon, and I'm more of a strategic player. So basically I got 3 Pokemon to 100. I got Chansey to 100, I got Charizard to 100, and I would have to go back and look it up. I got someone else to close to 100, but I just took that Chansey and just destroyed him. Just literally destroyed him.
Oh man!
Just
Are you into IVs?
Everything.
Are you into like IVs and all that stuff, or are you just kind of like level grind?
For Pokemon Yellow, I just tried to get to the highest level as possible. Did they have
Gotcha.
IVs back then? Like, I mean, kind of. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So IV training is like, the nature. I guess like the nature of like the Pokemon will determine like what stats it has, like attack, defense, special attack, special
Right,
defense.
for sure.
So people would like grind and fucking try to catch different versions of the same Pokemon, check their nature. Like if it's not what they need, they'll fucking just not use it. Not use it. I never did that. And what's interesting now is that in the newer games, especially in the latest games, Sword and Shield, you can modify their IVs yourself.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So yeah, so some of the community wasn't down with that because they're like, well, that takes away like a challenge or everything. Like a lot of a crit against like newer games is like they're not as challenging. But like I don't miss level grinding as a kid. I had Yellow. I abandoned it because it was just taking me too long. Still fun to play.
Yeah, it's still fun to play.
You know.
I had way too much time on my head to level grind and just get that back up to 100. I mean, I can't.
Oh yeah.
You know, I can't say if I wanted to do it right now, I'd be able to because I just wouldn't. I don't know.
Right.
I just want to get behind. I want to write something. We haven't really been writing either. I mean, we have these songs, but it's just something that we're gonna have to sit down and basically pick and choose. Kind of like what you guys are doing. 21 songs is a lot. 21 songs is a lot to really kind of work with and say, what's our best to take into the studio, and how are we going to implement them into this album, this full length that you're going to do? And then you were talking about shopping too, which is good. Have you shopped previously before? I'm sure you have. I mean, everybody does.
I sent Morning Sunset Equal Vision, and they were like, okay, we'll give this a listen. And then I was like, okay. And then I didn't send it to anybody else because I didn't really want to. I don't know how I feel about labels these days.
Right,
so like,
sure.
I was just like, okay, send us Equal Vision and Blue Swan. If they don't hit us back, it just wasn't meant to be. Just wasn't meant to be for that period in time. So, but yeah, I mean, like shopping. Like we were talking about it because like it would just help take us to another level, and then it would help burden the costs of like the album cycle itself.
Yeah,
so,
the initial marketing, PR, everything.
I know. There's just there's so many pros and cons to being unsigned and owning everything, like literally like all your assets and like your royalties, to like having a team and just being able to focus on the music, which is like, who wouldn't love that?
Yeah, especially when you're so passionate with your art. You know, we're getting to a label. It's not really this label you're signed to. It's what's the best deal that they can give me, and if that's going to benefit us in the future. Like, obviously, nobody's going to take a 360 deal. If nobody knows what a 360 deal is, it's basically the record label takes a little bit out of everything that you ever make. Your merch, your streams, your touring, your ticket sales. Like, no. I mean, like, perfect example, I talked to Schuler about it, but Rebecca Black, I think, had a 360 deal. And a friend of mine got engaged through, I guess, her manager, and tried pitching her the same idea because she was an independent artist, like singer-songwriter. He's like, yeah, I managed Rebecca Black and like a bunch of other people that were pretty successful as well. But he's like, they just have 360 deals, and then like once you accomplish that contract, you're good. And I'm like, no, please don't sign that. Like, don't waste that. Yeah. Like Carousel Kings, they signed to Victory Records, even though they've been had such a bad rep because of the Day to Remember lawsuit. It looks like they're highly investing in marketing. So I mean, I know Carousel Kings definitely won that opportunity, but it seemed like it's not just them, but Victory was putting out a lot of money for marketing in itself. So I don't think signing to Victory was like, if you were to sign to Victory Records, like, there's nothing wrong with being skeptical, but if they give you something that's going to work in to promote your music or however they want to go about the future with that band, just take an interest into it. I mean, I'm not sure. Yeah, but you're right. You have to be careful because some labels, I mean, it just happens. It happens. You get taken advantage of.
Oh yeah. I've even heard of I don't know, like with indies, like it's it's hard. Like sometimes like labels will kind of pump more into to like their top performing bands and like do fucking nothing for anyone else and hold them in their contracts. And that's like not something I want to happen to us. And then, like, I don't know. It's just, it would have to, for us to sign, the deal would have to feel right. Not that anyone's fucking knocking on our door right now, but, like, in my opinion, I think for us to sign, it would have to be, like, a label that, like, really believes in us and, like, what we're doing, and, like, will let us do our thing, and, like, just team up with us on, like, PR and marketing efforts, like, I just, like, I get scared of, like, a label that, like, will fuck it. And I guess, like, the other thing is, like, sometimes they'll try to fuck with your, like, your release schedule, or, like, hold on to singles, like, don't want to release them yet. Like, in the interest of not having them clash with another artist on the roster is good, so that everyone can be, like, equally supported. But, like, my fear, I've heard horror stories of, like, bands just, like, having, like full albums ready to go, and the label just holds on to them, and they're like, no, time's not right now. Like, time's not right. No and shit. Just, like, a year passes. So
that's a long time to not release something. I mean, everybody is, ready to get out there and promote it. I mean, I think that's what happened on A Day to Remember, because it was with the album of Common Courtesy. I don't think they wanted to release it at all. Maybe it's not the expectations that they wanted them to go that route. Maybe they were dictating the way they wrote their music. I don't know. Nobody knows. I mean, but they don't have to deal with that anymore.
Yeah, and, exactly.
When we label shopped, in a sense, before we even came out into the scene, like, CI Records was the only record label that was interested in us, and I had to talk with Jeremy, and he's like, dude, like, and everything that he told me was just extremely positive, and he said, I want you guys to, like, spread your wings and fly. He's basically being the mama bird, where it's like, he'll feed us a little bit, push us out of the nest, and let us fly. So, I mean, there wasn't anything.
That's great.
Yeah, but those are the things. So, I mean, it's just, like you said, you got to be careful with who you work with, or what the interest in. But it's not about the label. It's definitely about the deal. And if the deal's not there, I highly suggest not taking it. Schuler, my friend who was on The Voice, he said he got offered some contracts that looked a little sketchy, so he put them down. I was like, dude, I don't blame you, because they could take advantage of you. That makes total sense.
I know, people just want to be signed. They just want to be signed. They just want to say they're signed. And I know that, I mean, you could leverage that deal into a better one if someone wants to buy you out. But, like, that's, I don't know, that's also kind of like time lost. I love how Capstan did everything. They were independent for as long as possible, had a super successful EP, signed with Fearless, but that EP, like, they still own the rights to. So now they're on, like, this really nice label. I mean, I don't know how Fearless operates. I haven't heard any, like, bad things about them, I don't think. But, I mean, they held out, and they got this really great label. And they're getting really good tours, and they're really picking up steam. So, like, I like how they did things. Like, if we can stay independent for a while, that'd be great. Just the struggle band, you're supporting everything you do yourself.
Yeah, seriously. And it picks up, you know what I mean? There's a lot of artists out there that don't sign and they get picked up. I mean, if we want to talk about mainstream, I mean, Post Malone was on a label and he blew up, and I'm pretty sure he's still not on a label. So, I mean, I'm sorry, he's doing pretty well. So, it doesn't matter. But what do you think the next step is for you guys besides getting the album out there and label shopping? Is that what the goal is for right now in the near future?
Well, we were going to tour this year. I'm just going to assume that's shot. Because to hear Sergio say, like, I'm pretty much 100% that, like, I will not be doing any touring for any of my projects this year. I was like, and he's in 3 bands. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, that's fucking scary.
And all those projects would be playing, like, the same size rooms that we would be. So it's like, are we fucked? Because I think we are.
This whole industry is not going to resume. I think we're going to be the last ones to open.
Yeah. So, I mean, it'd be nice to get another tour out. We're planning to do Woodland Creatures Part 2 with our friends Impulses in the Northeast. But we will see, like, the timing of that now, what happens. They might get a really sick tour offer, and they might have to go do their own thing. So we're kind of just we're playing it by ear. What we're trying to focus on is, like, planning for the long term. Like, okay, we're all going to be cooped up. So what content can we do at home ourselves? Like, what's a realistic volume that we can put out? And, like, how can we plan for that? Can we do any recording at home? Like, what are we going to do? So we're supposed to have a meeting soon to go over that. Just, like, create a plan A that's, like, for the pandemic. And then hopefully, but if, like, we can reopen, I mean, I honestly don't think it's very likely that we'll have, like, DIY will come back super soon. But, you know, if we can play shows, we will. It's just not looking good on that front.
Unfortunately.
So.
Yeah, I mean, when the biggest thing that I kind of took into consideration was Circa Survive's 10-year anniversary for Blue Sky Noise. They basically almost pulled the trigger right at the beginning of this pandemic, and once the schools shut down in Pennsylvania, because the kids are done for the year in Pennsylvania. So once that shut down, they said, no, we have to pull this because this is going to be a domino effect. And in the beginning, we were kind of we were being patient with everything, saying, look, like, this will probably blow over in like 3 or 4 months, not even, I think, a month or two. And now it's elongating further than that. And
yeah,
I'm hearing some of the bands that tour for a living, or that, you know, are steady musicians, whether they're or they're steady in the music industry, whether they're producers or booking agents or roadies. They're not thinking that anything's going to happen to 2021.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm thinking too. Shit.
I mean, what are we gonna do? Stay in the pit 6 feet with our arms out like those helicopter toys and like kind of just like spin around so nobody can touch each other? Like, I don't know what the fuck are we supposed to do? Like, it's scary to me. Scary for the people that do this for a living. Hopefully, like those peeps can, you know, figure something out.
I know. Well, what sucks is it's like, to put on shows, even with like distancing, it's going to be a lot of work. This is so random, but I was listening to a Brad Paisley interview on Sirius XM Volume, and he was explaining how, like, he just recently did, like, he performed, like, he did a full production, like, live performance for a live stream, but what happened was it took them 3 days to set up for like a half-hour set, whatever he did. Something that would normally take them like 6 hours, like, it took them 3 days. So, like, imagine, like, so Mark Rebier, I don't know if you're familiar with the Loop Daddy, or that guy who, like, makes loops in his underwear. He's about to go on tour. Look him up after this. No. He's so funny. Yeah, Rebier or Rebier, something. I don't know how you pronounce his last name, Rib. Sorry.
That's cool.
But so he's about to go on tour. And he's going to do a drive-through tour. But the reason why that will be a little easier is because it's just him. It's just him and, like, a loop station. That's all his, and then, like, a laptop. That's all his setup is. And then people will drive in with their cars, and they'll either roll the windows down a little bit, or they'll tune into an FM radio. So I can only imagine that's probably the only feasible way you could tour right now.
Yeah, so if you're at that massive of success, like if you're at the top tier musicians or bands, but what about the middle guys? What about the smaller guys, the DIY guys and girls? Like,
we're fucked.
Yeah, exactly. We're extremely fucked.
So, I mean, like, I hate the idea of doing like a live stream show. I mean, we don't really have the means right now because Ryan doesn't have his kid at home. It's at the rehearsal space. Mm-hmm. So, he doesn't have his full kid. So, that's why we haven't done anything like that yet. It's just not possible for us right now. But I feel like that's where things are heading. Obviously, you probably saw, but the Clubhouse is going to do a drive-in show.
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah, I did.
Yeah. So, like, I feel like there's going to be workarounds, but it's not really going to go back to normal. So we have to figure out how to work around it. Yeah, for sure.
We'll figure something out. I mean, I think this is one of the things I wanted to do as well, is this podcast, to see if we can just keep people engaged and distracted from all of the negativity and such of what's happening.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, we gotta do something. We gotta stick together and still keep the community together. Speaking of the community, I sent you an article, and I know that you kind of wanted to passionately kind of talk about it, but I think our community has been very well over the past years, and it has treated us very well. I don't think I've seen anything negative towards either the bands or the artists themselves in my personal viewing site. However, one of my heroes, I don't know if she is your hero or not, but Haley Williams came out with that article with her opinion on the Warped Tour era that she was on, being with, what did she say? She said it was like internalized sexism and what else did she say? She said something about this being like brutally misogynistic. But have you experienced anything like that? Considering you also have a close correlation with that, because you're also the female vocalist in the band with your bandmates are guys, as well as Haley was growing up with Paramore, as well as Jenna is with the Ones You Forgot. Have you experienced any negativity in that industry, like since you started doing this for your career and the music career?
So, I've like experienced like being like at shows, like even just as a showgoer, like men will do this, like not you, but like guys have done this fucking weird, like when they pass by a girl at concerts, they don't touch your fucking shoulder, they don't like tap you gently, they go for your fucking lower back, like almost every time, like especially at Starland this has happened, like, and I fucking hate it because it's like, and I almost decked somebody the last time it happened because I was just like, I had it, but like things like being like touched like that, like that's happened to me at shows, and like even like I don't know, I'm not trying to just like fucking like I don't know what the metaphor is, but like I'm not trying to just like grasp for straws and shit, but like there have been things that have like that have happened to me that I just kind of like bury in the back of my mind. Like I had a music teacher say something to me when I was like 12 about me like developing as a woman, and that was weird. So yeah, so like there's like and then like when I was coming up, like when I was starting to play in bands and whatnot, like that was like 2010, 2011, like misogyny was like a really huge, like even more so than it is now, like it was just more like blatant and out there, like in your face, like jokes on social media, like everything, my bandmates making like sandwich jokes, but like at the time, honestly, I was a dumbass, and I was like, fuck yeah, I should be in the kitchen making a sandwich, and then I look
fun in
back,
context, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
come on, yeah.
I mean, you look back, and I'm like, what the fuck what try hard shit was that? And like that shit was just not funny, and like I will like for the most part, honestly, like besides from like weird, not fanboy, is fanboy the word? I don't know, like
I would say fanboy, yeah, I mean, like, for sure,
weird shit has happened to me at shows. I've thankfully not been like too like harassed or anything.
Good.
Probably disrespect. I have the memory of like a goldfish, dude. But like my bandmates just like remember like times of shows where like they had to keep an eye on a guy for me because they wouldn't fucking let go of me. They wouldn't end the conversation, follow me out to the car, like talking to me, like shit like that. There's been shows where like, oh, like people like trying to hit on me, and I'm like just trying to leave the conversation, and like most of the time people are just being like nice, and like other times just like really uncomfortable. I played a show, like I don't know, just like a lot of like, it's like I can't help if like people see me up on stage and they're like, oh, attractive like singer on stage, like I can't fucking stop that. But like a guy, the last time we played Philly in February, a guy came up to me after our set, and like it was the weirdest thing. He was like, hey, you were like really good up there, and I was like, oh, thanks. And he was like, yeah, so like what's your number so I can just like like stay in touch and like stay up to date on like when you guys are in town. I'm like, and like I didn't, looking back, I should have been like, sorry, I don't give out my number, but I fucking stood there and I just stuttered. I was like, and he was like, it's fine, like, you don't have to, and like, and it was like the weirdest fucking thing, like, because in my head, I'm processing it slowly, and I'm like, why do you need my number?
Why can't you just follow us on social media?
Why can't you just ask me for my band name, dude? What the fuck?
Yeah, no, that's not even close to what he was really trying to get at, but I think the problem is, like, my theory is not a theory. my problem is like I don't think it's being spoken up enough. I'm glad Haley said something because in the article it got really specific really fast when I read her quotes talking about her genitalia when
Yeah,
she was like 16 going on 17.
yeah,
But
that
I
was
see
fucking believable.
right, and I see this shit at shows, and it makes me so mad. I haven't had to do anything out of the ordinary to like you know to see red is different from making an effort to be like, hey, listen, that's not okay. I had to do that a couple
Yeah,
times. Like, I'm not a fucking superhero at all, by all means, but it's just something that I think if we can educate people in thinking that some of these things that they do is okay or funny, it's really not. Like, if I had a conversation with a girl at a show, like the show that we met up at Dance, DGD with
yeah,
Periphery and shit, like, if I had a conversation with a random girl, which I did have one, and like she didn't even have the conversation longer than like 3 seconds. She sent me she gave me a short reply, and that was it. I was like, all right, cool, like whatever, like what the
yeah.
fuck. I'm not gonna like I don't know what her story is, or if she doesn't want to talk, that's fine. I don't give a shit. But it's something that we need to take bring this up more, in my opinion, to try to put these people not in like a light, but just to get this fucking how do I want to say get this repetitive disgusting way of life out of the scene because I haven't seen it
Yeah,
much in our community, which is why I kind of wanted like, and I appreciate you being very specific with like things that you've gone through, and Jenna was the same way too, which I was really stoked that she had the courage to say that kind of shit, but it's you guys are in a different demographic. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
you guys get
Honestly,
most of the attention when
yeah.
you're up
Like
there.
I've heard of. I consider myself very lucky because like one like I surround myself with. I don't surround myself with people who like are like that. Like I surround myself with people who like take musicians who are non-men like very seriously, and like the other thing is like so I guess like as a result like I don't have any like trauma like crazy trauma from playing shows.
Good.
I can't say the same for like a lot of other like women like non-binary people like it's like there's so much work that we still have to do and all we just want is like just to not be tokenized but like be like respected and like just be referred to as just musicians like that's it. And
That's how it should
so
be. It shouldn't be anything more complicated than that. It shouldn't be
yeah and like don't be fucking weird at shows like talk like ugh.
like,
I guess I'm gonna tell you, I hate being hit on. I fucking hate
I'm sure
it.
you do. It's
I'm not
probably
gonna be able
fucking
to,
annoying.
yeah, just in general.
Right. And your
and like I'm
boyfriend's one
not.
of the coolest fucking dudes ever, and like obviously like he lets you, he doesn't let you, but like I'm saying like he like doesn't know he knows that you're doing your thing and he's cool with you being in the band and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he lets you be you.
And me
He lets you
touring,
be
like
you. Like he's not like, some dudes or whatever. But I'm just saying like in general that he supports you and everything, but it's probably fucking annoying all the time.
oh yeah, like I just want to be talked to like a musician. Like
Holy shit!
I can't
Is it
help if you
hard?
find me attractive. Like I don't know what you fucking see, but like I can't help it if you are. But like just don't be fucking weird to me. Like I just asked for like a modicum, like a crumb of just like coolness. Just be chill.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be creepy, please.
Yeah, that's why I like our community so much. We don't really have that. I haven't really seen it. And we're
Don't.
like, fucking stay together, dude.
And if someone's watching this and we do, please holla. But like, we really don't. But like, we don't though. Like, I'm in like all these New Jersey DIY groups. I love all of the people in New Jersey. I really do. Like this, I feel like people-wise, like the scene is like in a really good place, better than it was like 8 years ago. Like I'm really happy. I'm very grateful to know like all the people I know. Like fucking like meeting you guys, being friends with you for years now. Holy shit.
Yeah,
And
seriously. Yeah, like 4 years,
yeah.
about roughly.
So yeah, it's just it's all good when everyone is chums and platonic guys. So
We just need that good community. I haven't been in a community like that since I was in high school. Like it's one of those things that you have to really go and search for. But this this Jersey, this North Jersey scene just seems to just be everybody's there for everybody kind of deal. It's really fucking cool.
Yeah. Oh
So
yeah.
hopefully that doesn't go away anytime soon. And Jimmy is,
Yeah.
God bless that guy, literally, putting his foot down and starting a small DIY venue for all of us and like other bands to come through.
I know. Can we talk about how there's like I can't go because it would be too much, but like, dude, tell me how we have so many fucking venues in New Jersey and there's only like 3 to play.
Yeah.
Like,
and then you don't really necessarily have to sell tickets for, in a sense, which is also a fucking scam.
Yeah,
So,
or like you don't have to be part of like a clique to get into. Like, man.
Yeah, like the promoter or something. Bullshit. Yeah,
Jimmy is just doing the Lord's work right now.
He's doing more than the Lord's work. He did it because he had this at the Boathouse when he first hosted the Halloween show. That's when I met you guys.
Yep.
And, dude, that show was a hit. It was packed. It was a free show. Everybody came out, had a good time.
I know.
And he built that, man. He built that.
He really did.
A lot of props. And I think him and Chris are starting to. I think Chris is filming for him too, right? I believe for their live. Not live,
yes.
Sorry,
I know like 5 Chris's, so I had to think.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Sure. Yeah, the one with the K and the glasses. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know. Thank God for that place. Really, like, because I don't. Even like 2 years ago, I felt like there's so many more places to play, and now it's just nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, now nothing because of the pandemic, but like, you know what I mean, like. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jersey. I feel bad when bands hit me up. I pretty much book them all at the clubhouse because I'm like, sorry. Like, I got 2 venues. I got the clubhouse. I got Brighton Bar. Take your pick.
Yeah, just pick one. You want me to flip a coin? I'll tell Siri to flip a coin, and then we'll see where you land.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
Like,
yeah.
Some people are still doing the basement thing. It's hard. There's like a lot of basement venues got shut down. There was Creative Space in Long Branch, which that I think that was like a hole in the wall setup too, and like, that's I don't know what the deal is with that. I know it was shut down for a while. The EMS, like there's Brick EMS, and then like, there's like nowhere to play. But so that's why we have to like take care of the places that we do have.
Yeah, or else, we're basically going to have nothing left to play at. Or unless all these local bands are going to go to the bigger venues and they're going to say, all right, you need to sell a minimum of 20 tickets and blah, blah, blah. And
fight for these spots on these mid-level tours. Like, oh my God.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
So no, that's cool. But did you ever consider, this is something that I'm just curious, did you ever think of doing like independent songwriting by yourself without sales? Because you do play.
That was like how I started playing music, period. Like before I was in bands, like when I was really young in high school, I played like solo stuff, acoustic, and like people like when I was starting up with Sales Ahead would be like, I really can't picture you doing this, and I was like the heavier shit, and I'm like, too fucking bad. I'm gonna do it. Cause my voice, like I guess they were used to me doing the acoustic shit. And I don't know, like I'm kind of slowly returning to it. I have like a bunch of songs written, but like I'm trying to get into like sync licensing and like push that shit out, like to be licensed for like commercials and TV and shit. But that's a whole nother world, and that's very fast paced. So I'm basically just taking my time writing solo stuff. I do have a demo that like it's pretty much finished. I just have to fix a couple. There's click bleed in like one of the acoustic guitar tracks, and then like I have to fix some vocals. But I have stuff. It's just like I said before, like with Sales Ahead takes priority over everything. So
for sure.
It just kind of gets put aside. But like I just did. I'm working on a co-write with an artist. Derek Delacroix, and then like I'm doing a bunch of features, some of them for which like I'm helping write like the melodies and stuff, so that's been really wonderful. Like I was just on like the Pulses record, that was really cool to work with them in that capacity. I have like stuff outside the band that's like that I'm working on, but it's all a slow burn, it's all in progress stuff.
Yeah,
so.
I'm kind of jealous because I would love to sing and write, but I just can't. I can scream a little bit, but that doesn't mean anything. I can't. you know.
It's how it is. It's like working a muscle. All you got to do is just work at it.
That's true. You're right. Now that's gonna have to something to take into consideration. I do enjoy the whole screaming thing though. If I can just just do a little warm up and just like hunch over a bit and squeeze my diaphragm, I can get a good growl or two. We'll see. I don't know, but no, I appreciate you coming by and everything. I'm glad we were able to. We're still being able to get through these times and shit. And your Twitch is starting to really, prosper. So I'm stoked for you, dude.
Thank you. It's kind of scary. I don't know what's gonna come next. So.
I don't know. You never know.
I'm enjoying it while it's quiet.
Because I still have some of my followers on here too. Can you tell them where they can find you before I start hosting your channel, and then they have no choice but to find you on Twitch and everything? Do you have a schedule?
On Twitch, on Twitch, I am twitch.tv/Sierraplusultra. I stream Animal Crossing on Tuesdays and Thursdays for the most part, and we do like a Smash weekly sort of on Saturday nights, all 8 p.m. EST. So sometimes I'll pop in and stream extra days if I can, but those are usually like my firm days. I didn't stream last night though. Yesterday was not a good day, but normally
We're allowed
Tuesday.
to have those.
Yes, but normally Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday.
Cool. Absolutely. All right. Well, I'm looking forward to the new music. I'm sure as everybody else is. It's just a matter of when and how we go about it with this pandemic going on. So
I scream on one of the singles.
No way, really? Oh, is Kevin pushing that through? Like he's like kind of like, let's go, let's do this scream. Because I mean, he's in a fucking metal band. You know what I mean?
Dude, I learned how to scream for the Seosin cover set we did, and I was like, I know how to scream now. I guess not well. Like it's unpolished. It's not perfect.
What's the range? Is it mid or high?
Mid.
It's mid. Okay, I can't. I have a hard time doing mid high. I can only do like low-ish.
Right. Yeah. I've been trying to learn fry. It's hard. It's hard to do it while I'm home because it's really awkward. But like when I was like, I worked on it for the course of a year, and like I'm doing false chord right now, but I'd like to move on to fry. So just gotta learn.
That's cool. So. Yeah. No. All in due time. But hey, I appreciate you coming on. I'll definitely be keeping you updated with everything with what's going on with this as well as. Yeah, thank you so much for having me. This is such a good chat. Thanks. Always fun to talk to you. Yeah, I mean, dude, every time we talk, it's always for hours, so this is nothing different. Yeah, for sure. It doesn't matter. All right, thanks everybody for joining in.